Welcome back to our channel HD Ultra Rare Coins. If you are a coin collector, watch video carefully. I will tell you about coins that make you a millionaire overnight. Top 1. Today, we turn our attention to one such coin that has quietly risen to mythic status. The United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2 pence coin from the year 2005. This small copper-plated disc might seem insignificant to the untrained eye, but for collectors and historians alike, it represents a unique blend of historical timing, numismatic intrigue, and hidden value. As the story of this coin unfolds, you'll discover why it's not just a piece of metal, it's a gateway to a forgotten moment in British coinage history, and why one rare specimen has commanded a jaw-dropping $15 million price tag. To understand the 2005 2 pence coin, we must first take a journey back to the early days of decimalization in the United Kingdom. In 1971, the UK officially moved away from its centuries-old system of pounds, shillings, and pence, and adopted a decimal system that would make calculations simpler and align more closely with other global economies. The 2 pence coin was introduced as part of this overhaul, and its design was carefully selected to reflect both the heritage and modern spirit of the nation. While the coin itself was new, it carried with it the traditions of a monarchy that had weathered world wars, economic revolutions, and technological upheaval. Fast forward to 2005. Queen Elizabeth II was in the 53rd year of her reign, making her one of the longest reigning monarchs in British history. The nation itself was undergoing transformation. Technology was reshaping daily life, the European Union was redefining political boundaries, and public interest in history and heritage was undergoing a revival. Amidst all this, the Royal Mint continued its annual tradition of minting coins for circulation, each marked with the familiar portrait of Her Majesty and the national emblems that echoed centuries of symbolism. But 2005 would turn out to be no ordinary year for the 2 pence coin. At first glance, the 2005 Elizabeth II 2 pence coin appears to be just like its counterparts from previous years. On the obverse, the fourth definitive portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, created by Ian Rank Broadley, takes center stage. Introduced in 1998, this portrait was notable for its realism and strong features, a stark contrast to the more idealized images of earlier years. The Queen wears the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, a piece of jewelry that had become iconic through decades of royal portraits. Rank Broadley's initials, IRB, are subtly engraved beneath the neckline, an artistic signature that would become a mark of distinction in the numismatic world. The reverse of the coin, designed by Christopher Ironside, features the badge of the Prince of Wales, a plume of ostrich feathers encircled by a coronet, with the German motto, Ich diene, meaning, I serve. This emblem dates back to the 14th century and is traditionally associated with the heir apparent to the British throne. Its inclusion on the 2 pence coin connected the humble coin to the grandeur of royal lineage, history, and honor. What makes the 2005 2 pence coin especially fascinating, however, is not just the design or the symbolism, it's the production, the anomalies, and the myths that began to surface years later. In numismatics, rarity is often a product of mistakes, errors during minting, experimental designs, or variations in metal composition. In the case of the 2005 2 pence, whispers began circulating among collectors about a possible error coin, one that didn't match its peers in weight, appearance, or sound. Some of the coins minted in 2005 were suspected to be made using the old bronze alloy instead of the new copper-plated steel that had been introduced in 1992 to cut costs. This meant a small number of coins may have been struck using pre-1992 metal blanks, creating an ultra-rare hybrid that should not have existed. The only clue to such a coin would be in its weight and magnetic properties. While regular copper-plated steel coins are magnetic, the older bronze ones are not. In the quiet world of coin collecting, this tiny detail sparked a frenzy. Enthusiasts and experts alike began weighing their 2005 2 pence coins, holding magnets to their surfaces, searching for the elusive anomaly. But the intrigue didn't end there. Rumors began to circulate about a certain specimen, a pristine 2005 2 pence coin that not only bore the characteristics of the pre-1992 bronze alloy but was also struck with flawless precision. Its surfaces shimmered with the kind of luster rarely seen outside of proof coins. It was perfectly centered, had sharp reliefs, and seemed untouched by circulation. To the trained eye, this was no ordinary coin. It was a unicorn. When this particular coin surfaced in the collector's market, it didn't just cause a stir, it created a tempest. Experts verified its authenticity, confirming that it was indeed struck on a bronze blank, an error that had escaped quality control during the minting process. But it wasn't just the error that made this coin special, it was its condition. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with MS 70, mint state 70, representing perfection. This coin, incredibly, was graded at MS 69, nearly flawless, a miracle of preservation. The fact that it had survived in such a state for years without entering circulation only deepened the mystery. How had it been stored? Who had kept it safe? Was it deliberately set aside by someone at the mint, or simply forgotten in a drawer? Stories began to swirl around the coin's origins. Some speculated that it had been part of a test batch, never meant to be released, but accidentally slipped into general production. Others believed it may have been struck intentionally by a mint employee aware of the alloy swap, a silent rebellion, or a hidden gift to the future. Whatever the truth, the coin became a legend. It was dubbed the Ghost of Bronze, and collectors began paying astronomical sums for even the possibility of owning something similar. The climax of this tale came at a private auction held discreetly among elite numismatists and rare coin investors. The coin, authenticated, slabbed, and encased in a protective holder with its MS-69 grade proudly displayed, went under the hammer. The starting bid was already eye-watering, but what followed left even seasoned collectors speechless. Bidding escalated at a rapid pace, each participant aware that they were vying for a once-in-a-lifetime prize. The final hammer fell at a staggering $15 million, a number unheard of for a modern coin of such humble origins. What made this coin worth such a colossal sum? It was the perfect storm: historical significance, rarity, error, provenance, and pristine condition. More than that, it was the story, the mystique that surrounded it, the unanswered questions, the whisper of rebellion from within the mint, and the idea that somewhere out there, another one might exist, hidden in a change jar, waiting to be discovered. It was the dream of every collector made real. For everyday people, the 2005 Elizabeth II 2-pence coin is just a coppery trinket, lost in sofa cushions and coin jars. But for those who know its secret, it represents the thrilling unpredictability of coin collecting. It reminds us that even in an age of mass production and digital transactions, hidden treasures still exist in the most unlikely places. That pocket change might just contain a masterpiece of numismatic history, a coin that tells a story, bridges eras, and defies expectations. Today, collectors around the world examine their 2005 2-pence coins with new eyes. Magnets are tested, weights are measured, and dreams are kindled. The hunt continues, and every new discovery adds another chapter to the saga. Some pursue it for the thrill, others for the fortune, but all are united by a shared sense of wonder. Because in that small disk of metal lies a mystery that transcends time, a relic that connects the modern world with the royal traditions of old. And so, as we reflect on the journey of this unassuming coin, from a quiet year in minting history to the dazzling lights of a $15 million auction, we're reminded that value is not always obvious. Sometimes, it takes a keen eye, a bit of luck, and a deep appreciation for history to uncover the treasures hidden in plain sight. For now, the United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2-pence coin of 2005 stands not just as currency, but as a legend in copper and steel, a reminder that the smallest things can carry the greatest stories. Top 2. This is the story of the 2011 United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2-pence coin, a modern marvel with a tale as rich as its unexpected worth. Our journey begins not in a distant medieval mint, or the dusty pages of a centuries-old ledger, but rather in the contemporary mists of the early 21st century, a time of transition and quiet evolution in British coinage. The year was 2011. The world was buzzing with the royal wedding of Prince William and Kate Middleton, a moment that reignited global fascination with the British monarchy. Yet, Quietly circulating in the background of this royal spectacle was a small copper-plated coin, one that seemed, at first glance, no different from the billions of others struck by the royal mint. The 2011 2-pence coin bore a familiar face, the right-facing effigy of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, as sculpted by Ian Rank Broadley. This portrait had been in use since 1998, showing the Queen wearing the girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, with a dignified and mature grace that conveyed stability, tradition, and continuity. Around the portrait, in carefully inscribed Latin, read, Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD 2011. Shorthand for De Grazia Regina Fidei Defensor. By the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. On the reverse, however, the story becomes more intriguing. Since 2008, the Royal Mint had introduced a bold redesign of the reverse sides of UK coins, with each denomination displaying a different section of the royal shield of arms. When placed together, the coins formed the full image of the shield, a modern puzzle of heraldic beauty. The 2-pence coin revealed the lower right section of this shield, with the second and fourth quadrants featuring the rampant lion of Scotland and the harp of Ireland. The design, created by artist Matthew Dent, was praised for its ingenuity and was part of an effort to modernize the appearance of British currency while retaining deep-rooted historical significance. But what makes the 2011 edition of this common coin so special? Why would a coin, typically dismissed as pocket change, become the subject of intense collector obsession and ultimately be valued in the millions? To understand this, we must dive deeper into the world of minting anomalies, rarity, and the power of circumstance. You see, while the Royal Mint does strike coins in massive quantities for general circulation, certain years experience extremely low mintages for particular denominations, especially in sets rather than loose change. In 2011, no 2-pence coins were officially released into general circulation. That's right, none were minted for the public to spend, drop into vending machines, or toss into fountains. Instead, all 2011 2-pence coins were created solely for special collector sets, specifically, brilliant uncirculated sets and proof sets issued in limited numbers. This alone would have been enough to draw attention from seasoned collectors, always on the lookout for low mintage years. But there was more. Somewhere in the minting process, a very small number of 2011 2-pence coins are believed to have escaped into circulation, either accidentally or through an error in packaging or quality control. These rogue coins, never meant to see the light of day in the hands of the general public, became instant treasures. For collectors, they are the equivalent of finding a golden ticket in a bar of chocolate, a dream come true. And then, there's the matter of condition. The few known examples of the 2011 2-pence coin found in circulation exhibit an astonishing level of preservation. Whether by chance or by the cautious hands of those who discovered them, these coins have survived in near-perfect uncirculated condition, with brilliant luster and crisp detailing on both sides. Such impeccable quality only adds fuel to their allure. Of course, it's not just rarity and condition that make a coin valuable. It's also the story behind it, the emotion it evokes, the sense of discovery it awakens. Imagine, for a moment, the thrill of someone finding a 2011 2-pence coin in a box of old change, unaware that they're holding a piece worth more than some luxury cars. It's that element of surprise, of ordinary transforming into extraordinary, that has helped this coin earn its mythic status. Collectors began to notice. Listings on specialized auction sites, numismatic forums, and collector groups started to buzz with mentions of the elusive 2011 2-pence. At first, prices were modest, hundreds of pounds, then thousands. But as more time passed and no new examples emerged, demand surged. With supply effectively capped, only a handful of known examples, with even fewer in pristine condition, the laws of economics took over. Today, finding one of these coins in a collector's market is like stumbling across a unicorn in your backyard. And should you be lucky enough to possess one, you're holding a veritable fortune in your palm. Beyond the numbers and the shine, there's a deeper symbolism to this coin. It represents a moment frozen in time, a quiet yet profound intersection of art, history, and chance. The effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, who by 2011 had already become the longest-serving monarch in modern history, stands as a symbol of endurance. The intricate design of the royal shield on the reverse connects modern Britain to its feudal past, a tapestry woven from centuries of conquest, union, and identity. The absence of general circulation mintage in that year adds a layer of mystery, a void that turned into a collector's goldmine. Consider also the broader context of coin collecting in the 21st century. With digital payments rising and physical currency becoming less central to everyday life, coins like the 2011 2p have become time capsules of a waning era. For the next generation of numismatists, such coins may be among the last true treasures of tangible money, a bridge between the analog past and the digital future. On the international stage, the 2011 2p has drawn interest far beyond the United Kingdom. Collectors from the United States, Canada, Australia, and across Europe have entered the fray, hoping to acquire a piece of this elusive numismatic puzzle. Its value has continued to climb, not just for its intrinsic rarity but because of the growing awareness fueled by collectors, social media, and, of course, passionate communities like ours at HD Ultra Rare Coins. Auction houses have taken note. In recent years, listings for the 2011 2p in exceptional condition have fetched increasingly staggering prices. One particularly well-preserved example, authenticated by a leading grading authority and graded MS68 red, sold at a private auction for a record-shattering sum, solidifying this humble coin's place in the pantheon of elite collectibles. As we arrive at the crescendo of this incredible tale, one question remains: how much is a coin like this truly worth? After all, value in the world of rare coins is a reflection not just of scarcity or condition, but of story, emotion, and demand. And in the case of the 2011 United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2p, all those elements align perfectly. So now, for our viewers who followed this journey with wonder and curiosity, it's time to reveal the extraordinary truth. The current estimated value of the rarest and finest known examples of the 2011 2p coin, those elusive specimens in near-perfect mint state, likely sourced from unreleased or mis-packaged collector sets, with confirmed authentication, is a breathtaking $9 million. Yes, you heard that right. $9 million for a coin that, to the untrained eye, looks just like any other piece of spare change. But here on HD Ultra Rare Coins, we know better. We know that behind every coin lies a story, and behind every story, a chance for magic. So next time you're sorting through an old coin jar, or leafing through a forgotten album of change, keep your eyes sharp and your curiosity sharper. You never know when you might stumble upon a 2011 2p, a modern legend in copper and steel, waiting to change your life forever. Top 3. Today, this very coin, marked with the year 1999, has become a phenomenon in the numismatic world. A hidden gem. $1 million enigma. It all began as part of a tradition set forth decades earlier, when decimalization in 1971 restructured British coinage. The introduction of the 2p coin brought with it a design rooted in heritage, showcasing the badge of the Prince of Wales, 3 ostrich feathers encased in a coronet, accompanied by the German motto, Ich diene, meaning, I serve. This design was more than decorative. It symbolized the link between monarchy and service, between title and duty. For years, the reverse remained unchanged, carrying the same heraldic imagery that reminded citizens of royal continuity. By 1999, the coin had seen nearly 3 decades of quiet circulation. It was the kind of coin handed over for a pint, dropped into a charity box, or lost between couch cushions. No one gave it a second thought. But then, as numismatists later discovered, something curious happened during the minting of that year. Amid millions of ordinary strikes, a small number, an incredibly small number, were minted with anomalies. Some say it was a minting error, others speculate it was an experimental issue or an ultra-limited release not meant for public hands. But whatever the cause, the result was the same, a coin that looks identical to its siblings, yet holds within it a secret worth tens of millions. The obverse features the regal profile of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, facing right, adorned with the girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. Sculpted by Ian Rank Broadley, This portrait was introduced in 1998, making the 1999 version only the second year to feature his detailed depiction of the Queen. Rank Broadley's initials, IRB, are subtly inscribed beneath her neck, a hallmark of authenticity that collectors scrutinize with trained eyes. His version of the Queen was seen as a more mature and honest portrayal, with visible lines and character that reflected the monarch's steadfast service. The reverse, true to tradition, still bore the badge of the Prince of Wales. But here lies one of the mysteries. In certain 1999 strikes, the phrase, "new pence," was observed instead of the expected 2 pence. This was peculiar because the change from "new pence" to 2 pence officially occurred in 1982. How, then, did this older wording reappear nearly 2 decades later? Was it a deliberate nod to numismatic history? A mistake? Or perhaps a secret trial piece that escaped the Royal Mint's vaults? Theories abound, but one thing is clear: any 1999 2-pence coin bearing this anomaly skyrockets in value and demand. Minting records from 1999 list the 2-pence coin as part of standard circulation, but details about mintage numbers remain surprisingly vague. Estimates suggest hundreds of millions were produced, but how many of those bore the rare error, or even slight deviations, remains a mystery. This uncertainty fuels collector obsession. One slight flaw in alignment, one misplaced letter, or one misstruck edge could mean the difference between a regular coin and a multi-million-dollar marvel. Then comes the condition. For a coin like the 1999 2-pence to command serious attention, it must be in pristine or uncirculated condition. Coins stored away in Royal Mint sets, untouched by human hands, often preserve the crispness of the original strike. These coins exhibit brilliant luster, sharp relief, and zero evidence of wear. Even a minor fingerprint can reduce a coin's value significantly. Thus, collectors and investors alike pursue flawless specimens with near-religious fervor, often sending them to be graded by organizations like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS. A high grading, MS68 or higher, can transform a coin into a superstar. What makes the 1999 edition even more fascinating is its transitional significance. It stood at the precipice of a new century, part of the last batch of British coins minted before the digital era took over and cash began its slow decline. In this way, it becomes both a historical artifact and a cultural symbol. People who owned these coins 2 decades ago had no idea they were holding a future legend. Children tossed them into piggy banks. Cashiers gave them as change. Buskers collected them from street performances. And now, collectors search high and low, combing through old jars, forgotten wallets, and inherited boxes in hopes of stumbling upon one of these elusive treasures. But rarity alone isn't what has made this coin headline-worthy. The real story lies in its recent explosion in value. As of this year, a 1999 Elizabeth II 2-pence coin in immaculate condition, with verified anomalies, has fetched staggering prices on the international stage. Auction houses have seen fierce bidding wars, with private collectors and museums vying for ownership. One notable specimen, preserved in a sealed presentation pack, recently stunned the numismatic world when it sold for a record-breaking $24 million. Yes, you heard that right. $24 million for a coin once worth just 2 pence. The buyer remained anonymous, but whispers within the community suggest a royal connection or an elite European collector seeking to complete a private archive. What makes this sale even more remarkable is the fact that this wasn't a gold coin, nor a piece embedded with jewels or crafted with artistic extravagance. It was a simple, copper-plated steel coin that, on the surface, looked just like any other. Its worth came not from its material but from its story, its scarcity, and the frenzy of desire it inspired. Collectors now describe it as the Holy Grail of modern British coinage. Its rise to fame has sparked renewed interest in late 90s British coins, with hobbyists worldwide scanning their change and digging through old drawers in hopes of discovering another hidden gem. Coin forums, YouTube channels like HD Ultra Rare Coins, and collector conventions buzz with rumors and sightings. Some claim to have found one, others are still searching. But what's certain is this: The legend of the 1999 2-pence coin has been cemented into the annals of numismatic history. The Royal Mint has remained relatively silent on the issue, either confirming nor denying the theories surrounding the anomalies. Some insiders believe the Mint prefers to maintain an air of mystery, knowing well that scarcity fuels value. Others believe that even the Mint is unaware of how a rare batch slipped through, making it all the more enigmatic. Regardless, the demand continues to soar, and every time a coin surfaces, it sends ripples across the collector's market. It's ironic, isn't it? How something once used for buying a newspaper or a packet of crisps is now being locked in safes and displayed behind bulletproof glass. It serves as a powerful reminder of the unpredictability of value, that within the mundane lies the potential for magnificence. A coin like the 1999 2-pence tells a story not just of minting and monarchy, but of mystery, luck, and timing. It shows how history, artistry, and economics can converge into a single, glittering object of desire. And now, as you look at the coins in your own possession, perhaps you'll examine them more closely. That ordinary-looking 2-pence might just be the next $24 million discovery. Maybe it's been waiting, quietly, at the bottom of a drawer. Or maybe, just maybe, it's the coin you almost gave away, never realizing its incredible destiny. So the next time you come across a 1999 Elizabeth II 2-pence coin, remember, it's not just pocket change. It could be a fortune disguised as copper, a small slice of British history, and a shining symbol of how the ordinary can become truly extraordinary. Stay curious, keep collecting, and never underestimate the power of the past, because within it, treasures still await. Top 4. It was a simple 2-pence coin dated 2006. Little did Arthur know, that tiny bronze-plated steel disc would soon reveal itself to be worth a staggering $14 million. The story of the United Kingdom's 2-pence coin begins decades earlier, tracing back to 1971, when the UK officially adopted the decimal system. The coin was introduced as part of this shift, a symbol of modernization and progress. Over time, millions of these coins were struck and used in everyday commerce, passed from hand to hand, pocket to pocket, pub to pub. It became a background presence in British life, often overlooked, often underestimated. But every now and then, a particular issue from a specific year would stand apart, not just in rarity, but in the story it carried with it. The 2006 edition of the 2-pence coin belongs to such a story. At first glance, the coin appears like any other. The obverse features the familiar effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, this one sculpted by Ian Rank Broadley, whose depiction of the monarch had graced UK coinage since 1998. His portrayal was known for its realism, no romanticizing, no abstraction. Just the Queen as she was, dignified, experienced, and regal. The initials, RB, etched just below the neckline are a quiet testament to his contribution to modern British numismatics. On the reverse side, we find the badge of the Prince of Wales, 3 ostrich feathers encased in a coronet with the iconic motto, Ich diene, meaning, I serve, a design created by Christopher Ironside. Surrounding this design are the words, 2-pence, solid and strong, wrapping around the lower perimeter like a protective arc. In 2006, this reverse design was still in circulation, just a year before a redesign initiative would fragment the royal shield across different denominations. But why would a common coin from a recent year, just 2006, hold such extraordinary value? The answer lies in the confluence of error, rarity, and a story hidden in plain sight. You see, in 2006, the Royal Mint struck millions of 2-pence coins for circulation. Most were standard. But an infinitesimally small number left the mint bearing anomalies, imperfections so subtle that only the keenest eyes could catch them. It is these rare pieces that have turned a humble 2p coin into an object of immense desire among collectors. Some of the 2006 coins were struck with the wrong metal blank, a bronze planchet intended for older coins, instead of the newer, more cost-effective copper-plated steel. Others were double-struck, misaligned, or bore rotated dies. Each one of these quirks, individually, may seem insignificant. But in the numismatic world, It's these very anomalies that whisper the siren song of rarity. One particular 2p coin from 2006 was found to have a curious dual tone, a shimmering gradient on its surface, the result of a rare chemical reaction with the air over time due to a flaw in its plating. This subtle shimmer, combined with a perfect strike and uncirculated condition, made it a standout among its peers. This very coin eventually found its way to a high-profile London auction, where collectors from across the globe vied for ownership. The final hammer price? An eye-watering $14 million. Such value does not come from metal alone. The coin isn't gold, nor is it silver. It holds no intrinsic value based on composition. Its worth is a product of story, of scarcity, of emotion. It's the thrill of the hunt, the magic of discovery, and the prestige of owning something almost no one else can. Coin collectors are a particular breed. They chase beauty, precision, and the silent poetry of history engraved in miniature form. For them, the Elizabeth II 2p 2006 isn't just a coin. It's a narrative, a moment in time captured forever. It's the echo of a minting decision, a mistake unnoticed, a glitch in the matrix of mass production that, decades later, has become legendary. And there's more to the story. In the mid-2000s, the Royal Mint was undergoing transitions, technological upgrades, changes in leadership, evolving production strategies. These transitions introduced the possibility of errors, albeit in minute numbers. It's widely believed that during a late-night batch at the Mint, a small series of coins were mistakenly struck using leftover bronze blanks from the late 1990s. These blanks, though outdated, had somehow escaped scrapping and found themselves in the press. When they emerged, they looked normal to the naked eye, but to a trained numismatist, they bore subtle clues, metallic density, tonal variance, and strike depth, that indicated a divergence from the standard. Collectors who possess these coins often speak of them with reverence. They are shown at conventions under thick glass, passed around with gloves, insured to millions. Their very existence challenges what we think we know about currency, that something so commonplace could, under the right conditions, become almost mythical. The public, for the most part, remains unaware. Millions of 2p coins still sit in kitchen jars, buried in garden soil, or left behind in old coat pockets. Among them, perhaps, lies another 2006 anomaly, an undiscovered gem waiting for its moment. The idea that such a treasure could be lying within reach of anyone is what gives this story its fairy tale quality. It's not buried treasure in a distant land. It's not locked in a museum. It could be in your house. It could be in your wallet right now. For those who actively collect, the thrill of discovery is unmatched. They scour eBay listings, attend car boot sales, check every coin they receive and change. Stories like that of Arthur from Kent only fuel the obsession. His find, a coin overlooked for years, sitting quietly in a dusty drawer, serves as a reminder that great value doesn't always shout. Sometimes it whispers, quietly waiting to be found by someone who's paying attention. The allure of the Elizabeth II 2p 2006 is more than just monetary. It's about what it represents. A nation in transition. A mint evolving. A queen at the height of her reign. A mistake made by machines, unnoticed by men, that somehow produced perfection. Every collector knows that the most valuable coins are never just rare, they're meaningful. They tell a story that can't be replicated. And this particular coin tells a tale of rarity born from routine, of value born from error, and of history captured in copper and steel. Today, HD Ultra Rare Coins brings you that very tale. We bring you the hidden chapter of British coinage, where an everyday coin becomes a multi-million-dollar artifact. We walk the tightrope between the ordinary and the extraordinary, where one digit, the year 2006, makes all the difference. The story of this coin isn't over. It continues with every collector who searches for it, every auctioneer who appraises it, and every viewer who now knows what to look for. So next time you come across a handful of change, take a moment. Flip over that 2p coin. Check the date. Run your fingers across the smooth edge. Hold it up to the light. You might just be holding a piece of history, one that could change your life forever. And as for Arthur from Kent, his life changed in the blink of an eye. One coin, one moment, one forgotten drawer, and suddenly he was at the center of the numismatic world. Museums called. Collectors offered. Documentaries were filmed. But through it all, he remained grounded, humbled by the idea that something so simple could hold such profound power. And the coin? It now resides in a high-security vault, insured, protected, and admired by those lucky enough to glimpse it on rare display. The Elizabeth II 2 pence 2006 is no longer just a coin. It's a legend. And today, its value is a staggering $14 million.